sports, with money, and a lot of other things there. But that song brings us now to the third and the last of the show this Thursday morning. It is the 10th day of July, just a day after the celebration of the independence. Hopefully, your morning and dinner started well, and as well that you have settled into your different workstations, whether that's in the streets or in an office, all the same. Now, as I did mention from the beginning of the show that I'll be having guests in the studio, I am pleased to tell you that I do have them with me right here, and we will be kickstarting with a conversation. This is a series of conversation that we're having on transitional justice. Today is the second that we have. And the first one, we did look into the laws that were passed in 2024 December when we talk about the CTRH and the CRA. Looked into how the mandate of these commissions have been stipulated or addressed within those different laws. But the key part today that we want to look into is the fact that in February or late January, well, the council did give the go-ahead to the Ministry of Justice to establish now the commissions or and also go ahead with the selection process and all that. So today and then we want to look into why it is important that the process, it is the way it is stipulated, but also what are some of the criteria who can be eligible, and what is your function as a citizen as well when we talk about transitional justice, given that it's not a one-day thing, but it's a process that spans through years and also months. Today, I am joined in the studio by Jacqueline Nasiwa, who is the Executive Director, CIGPJ, and also who is the Deputy Chairperson for the South Sudan Civil Society Forum. And today as well, joining us in the studio is Loni Maroth, who is the chairperson of the Civil Society Forum. I want to welcome you to the studios of Advance with Radio. Starting with Loni, welcome to the studios once again, and happy independence, even though today is not the 9th of July, but we can still go ahead and celebrate it even today.
Happy independence.
Yes.
But sorry, let me correct, not a chairperson for Civil Society Forums. Transitional Justice Working Group.
All right. Thank you for that correction there. And that is Loni, the chairperson of the Transitional Justice Working Group. And to repeat that again, Loni Merot is the chairperson of the Transitional Justice Working Group. Now, joining us also is Jacqueline Nasiwa. Thank you for joining us today, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Advance Youth Radio, and good morning to all the South Sudanese, and happy belated Independence Day.
All right, these are the two that will be with me in the studio, even as we look into the guidance of truth, selecting the leaders that will bring justice, reconciliation, and truth to the face of South Sudan, but also healing. Now, let's get started with this conversation, Loni. As the chairperson of the Transitional Justice Working Group, in February, the Ministry of Justice was given the go-ahead to start the establishment of these commissions. Has there been any progress? What progress have been achieved so far?
Thank you very much for having me and my colleague Jacqueline Nasiwa. It's a privilege and honor to be here in the studio. I wanted to say that so far there is some process going on how they can get in selected panel form. Minister of Justice wrote to different groups that are eligible to nominate representatives to the panel. And though it has experienced delayed, and in May the civil society led by Civil Society Forum in collaboration with Transitional Justice Working Group, we are able to have a conference that has brought civil society, different stakeholders from across the 10 states and 3 administrative areas. And we are able to identify and through a competitive or consultative process, consensus building among ourselves, representative of various group, we are selected, and the name were submitted, and now we are making follow-up. We want to ensure that it is timely established.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that heads up to some of the key events that have occurred since Feb. Now, let me turn to Jacqueline. Why is it important who sits within these commissions when you think about the process of transitional justice? Because it looks like it's a key thing given that the laws as well clearly establishes certain criteria and so forth. Why is it important that the person who occupies such a place qualifies or meets certain criteria so as to enable the functioning of the commissions?
Yeah, it's very important that we know who sits in this commission and how they are also selected to the process. These two independent commission, they have specific mandates. For the Commission for Truth, Healing and Reconciliation, their mandate is to investigate, document, and also promote healing and reconciliation. And the documentation entails documentation of the causes of the conflict, the impact on the people, the gross human rights violations that have happened. And all this is documented because we want to see that we know the causes and we know why it happened, and then we want to deter this from happening in the future. And this is to be done in an impartial, objective, and credible way, so that we know the truth of what happened. And then it is to foster social cohesion and national healing for the people and also for the leaders. And that means that those who are going to be having this mandate should be people who will work towards achievement of that specific goal and mandate of this commission. For the Compensation and Reparations Authority, they can collaborate with the Commission for Truth in terms of awarding remedies for those who are affected, the communities or the individuals whose rights are violated, who lost property in the processes, or for women, maybe it is gender-based violence during the conflict, and how can they be awarded remedies and compensation for them to be able to restart their lives. And that means that also documenting these losses need people who will be non-biased and people who will also know, like, yes, this is the right victim to be given the compensation. So that's a big task. And recruitment of these people to be in this panel require people who are very impartial, people who are very knowledgeable, not necessarily on the legal aspect, but also on the context, and people who have knowledge about the transitional justice processes in other contexts, and a person who can be able to foster and promote social cohesion and trust among the people. So recruitment for us as civil society determines who and how the end results of this commission will be. So if you get people who are not, who are politicians or who are biased, or who may not even be able technically to deliver, and then we cannot be able to say we will have a proper transitional justice process. So the bar is set already within the law on who should be there and who should not be there. And the selection process is very critical because we want to make sure that credible people are gotten into this process who meet the criteria. So as Lonnie said, for us civil society, we deliberated on the recruitment panel because the law provides for a panel to be established by the Ministry of Justice. And this panel will now do the advertisement for the position, and then they would be the ones to now interview the people who have submitted the applications for this position, do background check, And then now, if they meet the criteria, they are submitted back to the ministry, who will submit it to the executive and to the legislature for vetting. And the legislature will vet the whole process. And these people, once vetted now, they'll be submitted to the executive for appointment. So all this is very important, so that there are checks and background check of these people to ensure that they meet the criteria and they are people who can deliver to the task.
Yeah. You've mentioned that the deliberation that was that deliberation about the recruitment panel during the conference that Lonnie mentioned.
Yes.
And has this panel been established already?
The panel is not yet established, and there are stakeholders who are supposed to be in the panel for recruitment. So for us as civil society, we are looking at the representation of the stakeholders who come from civil society. For example, one representative of civil society, one representative of women groups, one representative of victims group, one representative of persons with disability, one representative of academia, and then we also had the faith base.
Yeah.
So these are non-political stakeholders who should be in the recruitment panel. And we were able to deliberate with all these stakeholders, and they nominated their representatives. And these representatives, we also got their credentials, including their CVs, the academic papers and all this, and we submitted it now to the Ministry of Justice for consideration.
Yeah.
And the ministry will now be the one to work on the other category of the panel members, which include the signatories to the R-Access, and also probably others from the African countries. So once they do that, and then they now reconstitute the panel. And this panel has like 30 days to deliberate and to deliver on the task. We also worked and have discussions with the ministry on this criteria for the guidelines for this panel. And I think what is left now is for the ministry to reconstitute the other panel members and now appoint them. And from the conversations, the ministry is now on top of that. And what we encourage them is that they are given the full mandate now as a ministry legally to reconstitute this panel. So it shouldn't take a long process of maybe also vetting the panel, because the panel is within the docket of the Ministry of Justice. And then it's the members of the commission who should now go through the other processes, including the executive and parliament, for the vetting processes. So we anticipate that at least as soon as they get the names, even within this month, they should be able to reconstitute this panel. So that we give them 30 days, and at least by August we should have the panel complete its work.
Well, for those who are just tuning in now, you're listening to Advance with Radio 99.9 FM. It's right now 22 minutes that are passed after the hour of 9, and with me in the studio, I am joined by Lonnie Maroth, who is the chairperson of the Transitional Justice Working Group, and also Jacqueline Nasiwa, the executive director, Center for Inclusive Governance, Peace and Justice, and also she is the deputy for the Civil Society Forum. We're looking into the selection of leaders who will be heading the commissions. When you think about the CTRH that establishes certain commissions, but also functions, who will be carrying out, who will head these things. Now, you've heard a few remarks from Jacqueline in regards to some of the things that were deliberated on and where, and also the hopes that the civil society has, or should we say the nation has, that at least by August, if latest, or maybe if extended, we can have some tangible results in the process. Given that the go-ahead or the green light was given to the Ministry of Justice in Feb, up until now, yes, there is progress, but not as fast as expected. Now, these are some, you might then ask, what is the challenge? Maybe we'll explore that in a bit. But also, if you do have a question, the number you can reach out later on 0922-990-990 or 0918-990-990 for you to ask a question or to give a comment on the leaders who will be spearheading as such a process. Let me turn over to you, Loni. It is reported that public input and trust should be a key part in the process of this. How can the general public, per se, especially those in remote areas, also the refugee camps, and maybe as well those in the villages, even those in the city itself, when you think about Juba, how can they participate in giving feedback in the process of selecting these leaders, and what mechanism can be put in place to ensure that their voices are heard in the process of ensuring that the leaders will be well accepted with them, and they will not say that these are leaders who were selected in such a place, we don't know them, but anyway they're there, what do we do?
Thank you very much. The law that was passed November 2024 and ascended by His Excellency the President is very clear that is addressing that concern you are raising. The selection panel will receive the applications from the interested candidates, and then they will do the shortlisting and then background check, and this must be put according to the law. It will be published through media channels. It will also through radio, televisions, and the news. And there is a chance for this betting through the parliaments and before they are appointed. And these are very important. We always keep eye as civil society on those processes. When it's commenced, we will be able also to play our role to disseminate this information, especially to our members in the state, through our offices in the state. We have good coverage through civil society forums, through transitional justice working group, through other groups like NGO forum, all this. We will make sure from our end that this information also disseminate. And we will also work in partnership with the commission, with the ministry, with the Ministry of Justice, to ensure that this information is disseminated widely, so that the people will be able to have a say. Like what mentioned by my colleague Jacqueline, that we need somebody who will be sitting in the commission or CRA, Compensation and Reparation Authority, a person of integrity who can deliver, qualified in terms of credentials, and also should not have a criminal background, not also a military background. Those are some of the criteria mentioned by the law. Then we will also monitor, working closely with Ministry of Justice, and from our end also we monitor the process, so that anything that didn't go well, we will be able also to point it out. But we hope that the Minister of Justice will do his role according to the law, because the law said this should be made public for the public to participate.
Well, let's see how that will be progressing in a couple of days or months, God willing. Now, Jacqueline, you have given an expectation, or should we say possibilities, when we can think of some of these processes when it comes to the leaders who are going to sit there, take effect, and also start playing their role. Could it be that there are some challenges to this process of establishing the institution, or even bringing forward the individuals that will sit there. You have outlined certain of them, which includes members of the civil society, the religious group, and women representatives, and so forth, as well to those that are signatories to the peace agreement that has given us the transitional justice in itself processes, or in the chapter 5. Would it be that there are some challenges hindering the work of the Ministry of Justice, as they are supposed to have established this by now? It's long overdue.
I don't think there's a challenge in
Yeah.
terms of selecting these people. The issue is that the panel delayed,
Yeah.
because based on the law, within the 60 days they're supposed to form now the panel, and then the panel will now be reconstituted, and then they do the advertisement processes and all this.
Yeah.
So there's no, I don't see any maybe technical challenge in regards to that.
Yeah.
I think where the challenge is, probably I could say that the African Union is also ready to nominate their members to this panel.
Yeah.
So it's up to the Minister of Justice now to ensure that this process is expedited and that they live within the legal framework that gives the specific timelines for the establishment of these institutions.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you do have a question now, I'd love to open up the studio lines. It's at 29 minutes to 10 in the morning. You're listening to Advance with Radio 99.9 FM. With me in the studio is Jacqueline Nasiwa and Loni Maroth. Looking into the selection procedure for the leaders that will be heading the different mechanisms when you talk about transitional justice established in the chapter 5 of the revitalized peace agreement signed in 2018. A question that we look at is, why is it important who sits in these leadership place, and what is their criteria, who are they? And some of the things that have been mentioned is integrity is a key part to that, and also involvement when it comes to the military or in politics, or maybe in a party that can as well serve as a hindrance. And up until now, as you have heard from the members within the studio, that progress has been made, but of course possible that delays are there. And Jacqueline says that these delays do not seem to be technical per se, but in any way, we're here now in July, and hopefully by August we can see something tangible out of it. But what question do you have in regards to your involvement in this as a citizen of South Sudan, and also given the fact that these mechanisms are going to exist for you, not for any other person, for the sake of healing within South Sudan, for the sake of truth within South Sudan, and also for the compensation and the different reparation mechanism that can be in place. If you do have a question, you can leave it on 0922-990-990 or 0918-990-990. Either on the text, it's also possible for you to be able to come about with us. And let me turn to Loni a little bit. The monitoring and should we say assessment of the mechanism, it's a key part as well. Imagine that we have established these commissions now and they're functioning. What does the law say about their monitoring to ensure that they are serving the purpose for which they exist, but also that there is no interferences that comes in the middle to their function in bringing truth, in bringing healing, in bringing justice to the different victims that have suffered in the past atrocities?
Thank you very much. You know, it is incumbent upon the publics and the civil society groups to work proactively and to be proactive in their role to monitor the process. The process, the commissions, and the authority, they are expected to be an independent entity.
Yeah.
And that's why Jacqueline alluded to that we need to, in the first establishment, like if it is set right and we have the right people in the commission, they will be able to adhere to the law.
Yeah.
So it is going to be an open process. Even media will also have a role. Yeah. Through accreditations.
Yeah.
To you can apply as a user of Band Radio, and also civil society will be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because this is the process of investigation, bringing out the truth, seeking the truth, and also working with the victims through the CRA.
Yeah.
To ensure that their concern are addressed. And even the hybrid court will come in, because part of how to know this, there will be a report by this commission.
Yeah.
And there will also always will update the public about their investigations. So there are those avenues, my colleague will be able to add on this.
Yes. Welcome, Jackman.
Yeah, in terms of how the public will be able to follow up on these commissioners, one of the things for us as civil society is to see that the vetting process is very transparent, and that the public is given the opportunity to hear from those who want to become the commissioners. We had a conversation with the Peace and Reconciliation Committee of the Parliament, who are in charge of the transitional justice file in Parliament, and they are very keen on these public hearing processes. And actually, when we were deliberating on these draft bills, they open up for public hearing where civil society participated, the media, and all this.
Yeah.
And for us, we are seeing that for the recruitment of these panel members, there should be media visibility. And this is where, for example, those who are proposed to be the commissioners should come and tell the public through media, like, who are they, and what is their expectations of the processes, and how can they assure people that they are the right people to deliver on this mandate. As civil society also, we will do our own background check and have more dialogues on some of these individuals, so that citizens get to know who are they and what are they bringing on the table. The members of parliament also, they do the vetting process, and that means through their constituencies they will be able to know who are these members of the commission who are proposed. So the public should be able to follow keenly developments around this process through the media, talking to their constituencies, and also linking up with civil society members and
Arba.
I don't know Kotora. Government of the day, I know so we're not Shakalo. When you're a man, especially when I'm afraid of the Rana, I shut the game to that. I was one of the married. No one was married, Shana, but the mother and mother. Yes, go out and go out the fair kind of Shari, Shabu Jones, and kissing the door, but not the mother. Lana Shakin, I get a moment of Shari woman.
Shukran, Simon.
Nasasi Hanagan Harris of Aman. It is Harris of Aman, it is the Jana area.
All right. The Simon Main High Seminary. Now, Simon has talked about closely four things, and I think we will first go to the question of affirmative action, and then we'll see how to distribute the Simon's concerned. He has talked about number one, the fact that much of what we do sometimes is centered around Juba. And so he has the question of the other, people outside Juba, the state. How are we going to look into that? That's a concern that he has. But also he talked about the end goal, the benefit really, is it going to reach the people? Is it going to reach the young people per se? Is it going to reach the common person that exists within South Sudan? Giving examples here and there. And those are two key things that I can pick out from Simon's concerns. But I know, one, I was cut short because of my limitation in language as well. And so I was not able to pick out certain things very clearly. But thank you, Simon. On 0922-990-990, in case you heard some of his concerns very clearly, don't hesitate to respond to his concern as well. Let's pick the second caller and then we can call it a day. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mahmoud.
Yes, John.
How are you?
I am all right. How is Monuki?
Okay, good.
Welcome.
Thank you. I want to say good morning to the guest in the studio.
Hmm.
I want to say one big thing that I see what you're doing, and what you're doing is what we need. Because for us as South Sudanese, and for us as youth, especially youth, I want to talk about youth because me, I suffer a lot. There is no office that is in this city that doesn't have my papers. Any side, whether good or bad, there is no office that doesn't have my papers. And in all of these things, I have been treated very badly without respect. I don't know because they are a youth. Because even youth, sometimes you see themselves when they are big in their body, when they don't consider their age again, they consider themselves as elders. And you are youth. And right now, what I understand from all of these things, I believe that we are continuing in this way, and we have such conversation in this way, and we have people that actually in government, anybody who is supposed to be appointed there, supposed to be what? To be what? Yeah, to be dedicated, right? To do what he's doing. Either right or wrong, he must be judged. But here we don't have such things. And that is what promotes more opportunities for such people to do more things. And also on the side of military, this thing actually, they're not from military people. And they're not for police. And I don't know about it, but you mentioned about military and soldiers. Those people, they're not supposed to be such places. Because their heart is full of what? Push things, alright? You cannot take someone in the bush. This guy, he needs comfort. Such people need comfort. They need to be in their comfort zone. So that when you bring them in such position, they will not handle it. Because such thing, if you don't have a person that advises you very well, anyone that is close to you only want to chop from you. And
All right.
there is no advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you
I
for-
talk a lot, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you for calling, John, from Monuki. Now, John, the ministry, well, there's no way the ministry cannot be involved in the process that we're talking about. They are sort of, should we call them the mother? The Ministry of Justice. Yeah, but let's first get to Jacqueline on the 35 and then the concerns of Simon before we come to John. So, Jacqueline, welcome.
Thank you. In regards to the affirmative action for women, both these institutions in the law, they have allocated the 35% for women. Say for the Commission for Truth, Healing and Reconciliation, there are going to be 7 commissioners.
Yeah.
And these 7 commissioners, 3 will come from the African countries, and at least 1 should be a woman. And then 4 will come from South Sudanese, and at least also 2 should be women, so 50-50 for the South Sudanese. So that makes the representation of women to be at least 3 from 7.
Yeah.
We are also having assistant commissioners, and these assistant commissioners also, they will have women representation.
Yeah.
For example, for the assistant commissioners, there will be 4 representatives from women groups, and that means women will be represented in the assistant commissioners, and there will be 2 from the faith-based, and at least we are also saying from the 2 faith-based, 1 should be a woman, and then we will have 1 representative from persons with disability. For the question of Simon, the youth in the assistant commissioners, there will be 2 youth.
Okay.
And we also anticipate that there will be 1 female youth and 1 male youth. And for civil society, there will be also 2 representatives. And that means 1 will be a woman and 1 will be a man.
Yeah.
So the affirmative action in the Commission for Truth, Healing and Reconciliation is covered. Coming to the Compensation and Reparations Authority,
Yeah.
women are also represented as part of the executive of the Compensation and Reparations Authority, but also in the Secretariat, the affirmative action is reinforced. So that means that the affirmative action in these 2 laws is covered. And as we stated when we presented our members for the panel recruitment, we also had 2 at least women or 3. And that means for us as civil society, we take the gender quota seriously. So it's now up to the other categories like the African Union, the UN Security Council, to ensure that from the 3 who will be nominated, at least even if it is 1 or 2, out of the 3 should be women.
Yeah.
And why do we talk about the affirmative action? It's always important to know that the Women, Peace and Security Agenda calls for participation of women in peace processes. It also calls for their representation. And that transitional justice is very key pillar for sustainable peace in South Sudan. And ensuring that women are part of these processes is very important. And if you look at how the conflict has impacted the society, women are disproportionately also affected. And largely women are the victims. And we have seen this in terms of the conflict-related sexual violence, the displacement that happened. It's mostly women who are affected. And if we are talking about the compensation and reparations processes, we talk about the survivor-centered approach to transitional justice. And that means putting those who are affected as victims and survivors center to the decisions of these processes. And that means women become the central decision makers in all these processes.
Well, thank you for that. Now let's move to the concern of Simon Lone. He has expressed himself very vividly.
Yeah, thank you. I think what Simon said, that how they can be reached with information is a legitimate concern, and we are working toward addressing that as civil society. But we also experience some challenges to reach out to many locations, but it is in pipeline, or it is in the priorities of us, because we cannot be able to say it. We are covering the entire country, but as a groups who are here now speaking to Advanced Youth Radio, we are trying our level best to make sure that we reach out to many parts of South Sudan through our focal point in the states, because we have a state focal point in the programs. Also, we ensure that this dissemination is reaching to the lower level, because the decision is upon the people, and even the victims that are scattered across the country. They are not only in Juba. So this thing that I would like to say to Simon, that to all the listener of Advanced Youth Radio, that we will work to ensure that with the Civil Society Forum and the Transitional Justice Working Group to ensure that we reach out to our people. And then the issue of he mentioned something.
He mentioned as well the benefits and like at the end of it, how they can be able to get out of it.
The chapter 5, I can say it. Chapter 5 is beneficial to our people because if we are able to seek the truth on what happened and impact of what happened, we as a people in the country at large will be able to come up with some of the solutions. One is to engage in dialogue, constant dialogue and healing process, because we have wronged one another. We have created a lot of inconvenience to ourselves. We also need to seek the accountability for those who hold bear the responsibility of violating the human right issues, the human right of individual. And then also the issue of healing will involve the memorialization, reparations, and compensation. I think these are, if this work of this two commission started, including the hybrid court, which will later be formed, it will be very beneficial for our country, because this will address the issues of concern of every individual.
Yeah.
And we will work together to ensure we have a peaceful and a just democratic country.
Yeah. Now, because of time, we will be winding down in a minute. Let me turn to Jacqueline quickly. Jacqueline, your final words for today.
What I will say is that different experiences in Africa and also in the world have shown that post-conflict situations require a robust transitional justice mechanism. And transitional justice is not only starting in South Sudan. We have seen our close neighbor, Rwanda, in 1994, they had a serious genocide, but they started the process of the transitional justice. And today we are proud of Rwanda because they have moved away from their violent past, and they have initiated reforms within their governance and political systems. And today they are relatively peaceful. We have seen South Africa, they also had a serious apartheid regime, and they decided to embark on the truth processes and reconciliation, and at least they also stayed relatively calm and development went on. So as South Sudanese, we need to see the benefits of transitional justice. And for the youth, I always advise that the youth should start getting more organized. In Liberia, in Gambia, the young people took the aspect of the transitional justice into their hands. And they had a nationwide campaign in terms of no more war. And they educated the people on the importance of national cohesion and looking at themselves, for example, as the new Gambia and what they want to see. So our youth should really start waking up and redefining their future and embracing peace, which is very important.
Yes.
So I'll say, as people, you need to prepare for these processes and get engaged.
All right. Thank you. Lonnie, in 1 minute, your final words.
I want to say to listener of Use Advanced Radio is that you should be engaged, keep engaged in these issues of transitional justice, and we will keep you informed. And the benefit of this is that if we work together closely with the relevant authorities that will be formed later, it will help the country to move on, and that we should encourage the victims as well to participate in this the process. And this is your process, and you have to ensure that it is going, it is kicking. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Lonnie and Jacqueline. Now, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling in Simon from High Seminary and also John from Monuki. We'll meet again next week, Tuesday, when we talk about the next, that is a discussion on transitional justice. And we'll be talking about some of the realities within South Sudan, the economic realities that we have in South Sudan. How do we navigate it as the landscape that we have, and transitional justice and all these things. More will be coming up next week on Tuesday and Thursday. You do have a good morning. At 11, the Cool Drive will be starting.